We are now streaming live. All right. Hey, Josh.
How are you doing?
Great. Another week of maximum storytelling. So good to be here. The weeks go by so fast. Every time I turn around, I'm like, it's Wednesday again. It's crazy.
It's the only time I actually know what day it is on these days because then I know that it's Wednesday.
Right.
It's good to be back with you guys.
All right. So today we are going to talk about verifying your YouTube channel, which most people just think you start the YouTube channel, you put your name up there, you put the profile picture, you put the channel banner, right? But there's some other little things that you can do to unlock some even better features. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to share my screen for all of you guys listening. I am going to my YouTube channel. Don't make fun of it. There's not that much there at all. Not like our friend Josh, who has, tons of amazing things. Let me figure out how to share my screen. I know
Which
how
I
to
got
do
to be
this.
honest, you said that. I personally don't take advantage of YouTube like I should. So I think that some things after we talk today, I'm going to work on implementing myself because for me, it's just finding time to spend time on YouTube because this is once you guys unlock the tools that you can, really start creating and, running, monetizing your content, making money, you become obsessed with those things. And then you get the app on your phone and it's the first thing you check in the morning and, oh, well, this video is performing really well, but this one's not. So how do we make more content like this? And so it kind of changes the way you think. For me, like personally for me, I have videos on Facebook and Instagram and my stories, and to get it in every single different place, it takes a lot of time to do. So I'm just need to get it to my clients so that way they're happy and they do their own thing. But for me to get it on my channel or my website, it's a lot of extra work to actually make that happen. So we're going to see Annika's channel though, and point out a few things that you can do to increase, subscribers, traffic, and get people to your website. Because I think that's really the goal, is to use YouTube as a tool that you can harness the SEO power of YouTube. And that's really, the main goal, of getting your videos uploaded. So.
Well, and honestly, we're all really great at giving advice and not taking the advice ourselves. I mean, especially when it comes to marketing. I mean, if I did for my own business as much marketing as I encourage other people to do, oh my gosh, my life would be much easier, I think. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And one funny little thing that you will notice about my YouTube channel, and I'm sure that this happens to a lot of you guys at home, is your YouTube channel kind of becomes a collaboration of all of the things that you search. So if your child has your phone all the time, or your child is on a communal iPad and watching YouTube, then you will find that the suggested videos are hilarious, right? It'll go from, marketing my business to, well, let me show you mine. I have Lego minifigurines, Nerf wars, tanks, Marines. My kid is obsessed with wanting to be in the Marines. So it'll be pretty funny for you guys to see this. Okay, so here's just my YouTube channel. Oh, hang on. Not that. Can you guys, you're seeing what you're supposed to see, Josh, right? My YouTube channel?
Yes. Now,
Perfect.
if you click your picture in the top right, this is going to be the most, your best friend. You click your picture and then you go to YouTube Studio, the third one down.
Yep.
This is where you're going to see everything. So same thing if you have the app on your phone, YouTube Studio. This is where YouTube's kind of pushing everyone to get to be able to see everything that's going on with your channel. Your last video that you uploaded and how it's performing, all your most recent comments so you can respond to those, a breakdown for the last month, your analytics, your everyone that's, you break down the different tabs of like the monetization, the analytics, and you can really dive into, really deep with each one of these categories. But yeah, I think it depends on how much content you have on your channel to start with. But if you have a strategy, a marketing strategy, and every week on, say, Thursday that you post a new video, you can check this to get ideas of how to create better content moving forward based on what's working for you and what's not. So this is a great way to, good place to start on your channel anyway.
And you can also schedule videos too. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to wake up every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. and upload a video just to stay on schedule with, whatever you have planned for yourself. You can easily schedule those out. And then I feel like YouTube also has the capability, well, especially now that they're so tightly connected with Google. I mean, you can see in your Google Analytics, in your YouTube Analytics, how well you're doing, but you can also send yourself automatic reports too, which will trigger you to say, okay, I get this email every Thursday and my video went up. Let's just say you have the report sent to you that next Monday. So every Monday you can look at how everything is doing and then, continue on to see how much the viewership grows.
Okay, now click on underneath where your picture is there on the left. If you click your channel.
Okay.
Oh,
Actually, I gave you control of my screen as well, so you can mess around with it too. There we go.
There. So this will give you a look at what her channel looks like. If somebody were to view this channel, this is what they would see when they pull up the screen first. So you can customize this. Can you guys see? Can you see the arrow where I'm pointing?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, cool. So if you click on customize, it's going to give you tons of different options of how to lay out your videos. So this is, we've talked so many times about building playlists and ways to kind of curate your video topics. Like say you have a Q&A section or your testimonial section or, all of your, media stuff of you being on the news, put all those in one section. And then this is where you can add stuff to different sections and then create, a kind of a more cohesive look on your channel. So when somebody goes to it, it's going to show, maybe 3 different playlists, but they can see right off the bat without scrolling, they can find out more about you, but they can also see what you do based on your content. So for me, I think mine is set to like the most popular. So whatever video is performing the best is in that playlist, and then it's going to give you, it's going to update as things change throughout, the months and the years. So whatever the top video is, that's going to be first. So that's a cool way to organize your stuff. But channel trailer for people who haven't subscribed. So this is where you would click to add. So say you've got like a main bio video of who you are. Say that's this video of Annika here, and she's talking about, her company and what it means and how, she's so great and, why you should trust her and all this stuff.
Time out really quick. Let me point out, see how I am in this little thumbnail of this video. I'm standing there with my eyes half closed and my hand in the air, and I look like a complete dorkosaurus, the term we use in the household when we're talking to Bruce. This is a perfect example of me needing to have a custom thumbnail right there so I don't look like I'm asleep on stage.
And if you don't have it for any other video, this is the most important one, because now once we add this to the channel, this is going to show up large as the first thing. So right now it's as small as what it would normally be like if you're searching. So you really can't see what's going on, right? So that's why it's important to have something that's attention grabbing, but doesn't have a bunch of text to where you have to read what's going on. It needs to be an image that it's clear about what the video is about, but it's also intriguing and makes you want to click on it. So down here, you can add stuff for people who are already subscribed to your channel. This main one's only going to show up to people who are going to your channel who are not subscribed. So again, this is your educating them on who you are and what you do. This is their first time interacting with your channel. So it needs to be a great video and something that's impactful. That's going to keep them coming back for more content, ultimately getting them to subscribe to your channel. So once they subscribe, this feature content is what they'll then see. So say, once we add here, also, this is where you can add playlists. If you create stuff So you can build these and put, several different things on there. We'll put our live video on. So we're just going to publish this just to show you what it looks like then. Because now once we go to channel, it's going to give us an option to view this as, okay, it's going to default to, this is what it looks like if you're, your first time going to her channel. So see how it's bigger?
Yes.
So that's the first thing that they're going to see. It's obviously highlighted. This is, the important part of it. But also you can see a lot of this description. It's all visible. So in here is a chance for you to really pad this with some stats and including your website and your phone number. So again, at first glance, they can see exactly what they need to without clicking on about, and understanding, you can put some stuff in here too. Clicking on discussion, you can actually post, and YouTube's kind of like Instagram and Facebook now, to where you can add your story and all this crazy stuff. But this is just how you can better organize your channel. Here's her created playlist. She's got a few of these, and you can actually get playlists that you have from other channels as well. So you could save these and use these on your channel. So it's just basically adding a link. So say you do a lot of work for somebody who has everything that you've done on their YouTube channel, which is very common for me because I do work for people. They post the video and I share the video. So this is a way where I can kind of curate all that other content that's not on my channel, add it to a saved playlist, and then add that to my channel that way. So, you're kind of doing them a favor, but you're also getting your content where it needs to be. But this is just a kind of real bare bones look at what you can do to customize your channel. Up here,
that's why we used my account, because it is like, there hasn't been a lot done to it. So for a lot of you guys at home starting out, it's going to look a lot like this, right? It's going to look very, very bland and very basic.
It's a little tricky when you're updating like your the banner image, because you have to make something that works across the board on a TV, on a computer, and on a phone. So if you're adding something, it's going to be cropped differently no matter what you view it on. So I know mine was really tricky to get it to line up and match, and then I would test it on the TV, which it looks really cool. And I think a lot of people watch YouTube on TV, so I think it's important to make sure that it looks good everywhere. And again, if you're viewing on a television, your splash images are going to be bigger. So it's more important to have something that's quality and makes you stand out from the other one that's right next to it, where they actually spent time on developing and designing a splash image specifically for that video. So really creating the content's half the battle. It's once you get it up on YouTube, what you're going to do to this video to help set it apart from everything else.
And that's a good point about paying attention to all of the different places that will show up, because the pixel recommendation that they have, just because you follow the pixel recommendation when you're creating your banner, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're good to go, set it, and don't look at it ever again.
Exactly.
So it's smart to double check.
And so also, like, once you go back to the studio, if you click on videos, it's going to give you a breakdown of everything that's on your channel. And so this is a good way to, it's going to organize it by the most recent video, but you can also change here, like, hey, here, what's my most popular video versus, whatever, however you want to organize this. But each video has a section where you can add details. So this is really important, not only for having that, main channel video padded with everything, but this is where you're going to go to have a compelling title, something that, again, is straight to the point, but also is intriguing and is going to work with that splash image to get someone to click on your video.
What are your thoughts about changing the title after you've already created it?
Absolutely.
Like, let's just say like this one, my title was Bruce Learns Fractions. At the time, I just needed to get this up so I could put it into an email, but obviously I need to go back through and make it more compelling. So is that okay to do?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's actually a benefit too, because now YouTube's seeing this as like an updated video. So you may, it may like jump ahead from where it were previously if you're doing things to improve, like changing the splash image. You could also, cut Bruce out and put a, nice colorful background with like, a fraction there, and maybe like him with a puzzled face or something.
Use Canva.
Canva would be great. So what you do for that is you just click on updated thumbnails, add your picture in there. And then again, it's going to show up here. But it's kind of tricky because you need specific, I think it's 2 megabytes for thumbnails. And YouTube has a lot of the stuff that kind of explains everything for you, but image size and resolution. Yeah, 2 megabit limit, JPEG, GIF, or PNG. So yeah, that's their recommended specs for what to use for this. 16:9 aspect ratio is what a video layout is. So
and what are the requirements for being able to create your own custom video thumbnail?
I
I
think
mean, after you verify your account, and then I think that you have to.
they changed the way, because to monetize videos, you have to have 1,000 subscribers. I do know that. They changed the way that, because you couldn't even change your splash image unless you had like 10 or 50
Views or something.
subscribers, which is not the case because I don't think that you have that many, but you can change it. So maybe they just made that available. I think it looks like you can do that regardless.
They must have had enough people requesting it
Yeah,
without that little milestone.
because you couldn't do any of this other stuff either, like adding cards to your videos, which we can go back here. So once we start doing paid stuff, you have to have 1,000 subscribers again to be able to monetize any content. But adding stuff to the categories, people on blogs, if it's education, you can put education there. I think for the most of the stuff that we do, it would be under education, people on blogs. But again, there's different categories depending on what you're putting on your channel. If you go back to basic, over here on the right is the cards and the end screen. So a lot of times now when I'm creating content that's going to live on YouTube, I'll create a separate one from YouTube versus like a social media version that has like an ending with a 30-second slate of a blank, whether it's like a motion graphic or an image or just a logo with the music that's just continuing out. After the video ends, you get your call to action, and then there's a nice 15 to 30 seconds, because you can click this end screen and you can add this element at the end. I'm sure you've seen it before on a YouTube channel. It ends, it comes up and says, hey, watch this video next, or, here's my channel, subscribe, whatever it is. It makes it really easy to be able to do this if you add cards. You don't have to do just end screen. You can put, a video that is related to that. You can also add stuff mid video, which is cards. So you can do a video, a playlist, a channel, or you can do a link. YouTube Partner Program in order to do the link. So that's when you got to have 1,000 subscribers to be able to blast out links while your video is playing. So you can click where you want something to go. So say here he talks about something really great. Maybe it's like a fire truck, and you want to put this other video of a fire truck here, whatever it is, and then when this point of the video comes up, you're going to see this card. See up at the top? It's going to say, suggested a 6-year-old's take on fire trucks, or whatever the video is. So again, you can really get in depth with each video once you get it uploaded, depending on if you have other content based on that same video, or if you want to kind of direct them somewhere else after the video's over. So, another great way to reuse that main bio video is at your end card. So it's almost like a business card. Like, hey, thanks for watching. Here you go. Check this out. This is who we are, what we do. So that's going to get them back on your channel, and then hopefully take them down a rabbit hole. They're going to watch all your content. So
that's awesome. Will you also, actually, I might take control of the mouse back just really quick. So one little thing that, if you go to, hang on a second, where did we go for settings?
YouTube analytics. Yeah.
If you go to your settings, sometimes you'll see, where did we go? Viewer channel. But if you click on, oh shoot, sorry guys. There should, oh, Oh, I don't want that. There should be a place where you can make sure that your account is verified. Because if you don't, what's that?
I think that might be it. I think because it would say right there your account.
If it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to look different. If your account isn't verified, if you haven't gone in, it'll have a little box that says verify here, and then you'll get access to all of those things. So if something isn't showing up quite like we're describing it, or if it doesn't, it just doesn't seem like you have any of those other features, make sure to find out if your account is verified, and you'll see it there, and it'll have you, there's a control back if you need that, Josh, but it'll just have you, I think it sends you a text message to whatever phone you have linked to the account with a verification code, or you can opt to have, I think the same to an email. So you're just proving that you are who you say you are.
Absolutely. So if we go to, for anybody that doesn't know, when you upload a video, you can also put all this, this information in while you're uploading. So you can do all this ahead of time. And then that way, when you go to post your video or schedule your video, everything is already there. Your splash image is already good. You can test it and make sure it looks good. It works. Very seldom do I just upload a video and then it goes live. I like to make sure that everything looks good, sounds good, because a lot of times YouTube will compress the video a little bit, make things look a little bit different, sound a little bit different than what I'm used to after editing. So I just like to make sure and do a final check before I click publish. A lot of times I'll just schedule my stuff too. So there's different ways too once you have it on YouTube. Let's see. This is where you get your, YouTube like sometimes has really long links to where you can share. The shareable link is like a short. It's like a really condensed, like 4 or 5 letters on the end. So that's where you can go to get a really good link to share. So you got your details, and you can break down all your stuff through that little sidebar here too. Sorry. So each video, just hover over it, you're going to get this other little section to where you can see the details. You can see the analytics of that video. You can see the comments, or you can see it actually on YouTube, what it looks like to somebody clicking on it. So if you go to your analytics, this is where you're going to be able to see how your video is performing. Nice. Okay. See how long people generally watch it for. What's the reach like? So this is where you can kind of like really get caught up with stuff. I usually use my phone for stuff like this, just to kind of track things, every week or so I'll hop on just to kind of see. This is where you see how people found your video. How did they get there? They searched on YouTube. Suggested video. So if you're in another video and you use this, that's how you're going to get into this category. So this is always interesting to see how your content's being discovered, which again is going to help you if you're trying to decide how to advertise or use your marketing budget. If everything's coming from Facebook, you obviously know that that's working. So keep doing that. If it's coming from somewhere else, or you're not getting something from where you should be, maybe change the way that you're either doing these videos or what content you're advertising. So, and again, you can't really run ads unless you have 1,000 subscribers. So that's important too. That's kind of the first big milestone to get to on YouTube. That's kind of the goal. I know a lot of people do like a subscription thing to where they send it around. Everyone has their channels. Everyone kind of follows everybody, and it helps kind of like increase your following that way. Because once you start getting traction and you're doing videos a lot, you're going to start ranking higher on YouTube once people are searching. So it just, being consistent, keep doing it, do all the right things, and eventually it's going to pay off. But making sure that you're aware that the splash image is important, and all the, the details of the video, adding we didn't talk about the tags at the bottom, but I think they recommend, it says 500 characters. I think like 5 to 10 is like ideal. of, you don't want to like over stuff. But sometimes, like it says right here, you can just copy all. So you can take everything from one video. If you have, 20 of them that you use, you can copy and then you can paste them to all your videos. So you don't have to like manually put them in every time. Um, or you can just do like 10 and then just add to each one or whatever. So making sure you have some sort of tag along with your description and your title is super important.
Awesome. This has been so helpful. Thank you so much for breaking all this stuff down. If any of you guys out there who are, wanting to have more, I'm trying to stop share. Okay. If any of you guys out there want help with trying to get more subscribers to YouTube, I mean, definitely comment to us and we will follow you and we will subscribe to your channels. And then I think too, also when people in your circle see that you're subscribing to them, they're also going to, subscribe back. And, it's no different than any other social media platform where the more engagement that you have, the more followers you're going to have, the more comments and things like that. And when you do see somebody comment on your video, make sure to treat it like you would Instagram or Facebook and comment back, right? Say thank you and, hey, I appreciate the feedback or whatever it may be.
And it's so important for like the algorithm that it uses, just like Instagram, to where if you're not, I don't know if a lot of people don't know that if you're not being active on Instagram, versus just only posting stuff and waiting for people to comment and like your stuff, you should actually go out and like other people's stuff, comment, and, like engage with other people's things first. And it's going to show that show to Instagram that you're like, you're not just here for people to see your stuff. You're interested in everyone else's things too. So it's going to start sharing your channel and your page to more people. And that's the same way that YouTube works too. So you can comment as your page on relevant videos or, different, subjects, whatever it may be. Same thing in your personal life too. So like I have 3 different YouTube channels, one for my personal and one for each of my brands, my video brands I have. So, trying to keep everything separate and, each one in their own lane is challenging, but still being active helps. And you can share stories now and you can write posts. So, if you're doing it on Facebook, just like copy it and then paste it on YouTube. It's just going to help. And it's already there anyways. It's just, really just like bridging it over. So,
and it'll help train you too. If you make a concerted effort to know, okay, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. It'll become second nature.
And LinkedIn.
Yeah, and LinkedIn too.
LinkedIn is actually, once you have your YouTube videos up, sharing them on LinkedIn is a great way because you can't natively share. I think there's like a cutoff limit of the length of videos for LinkedIn.
There is, and some people out there in LinkedIn world are getting the feature or the ability to do live videos, but it's kind of still in beta, so they haven't given it to everyone. They're just giving it to, super high engagers or people who engage quite a bit. But I think we definitely should do a maximum storytelling podcast episode about Instagram, Facebook, like the inner workings of all of them and connecting all of them and best practices for, okay, hey, if you have this piece of content, what should we do on each platform? Because like you said, video it's the gold standard now.
And having the video is just half the battle. You got to get your video seen. So creating the video is not enough. You need to get it in the places to where your viewer is going to be able to access it. And maybe the person that needs to see it the most isn't on Facebook. And, YouTube's where they go, or LinkedIn's where they go, or whatever. So you need to make sure that content's available to whoever it is. So that's why it's just important to be aware. You have the ability, technology is an amazing thing. Just have the ability and just know that, just one place isn't enough. You want to make sure that it's everywhere it can be.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for these tips. If anyone has any questions or comments, definitely please reach out to us. We would love to hear them. We would love to hear ideas on other episode topics that you guys want to hear about. And we will definitely do some more in depth with YouTube because there's so much stuff that we haven't even touched yet. I mean, we just kind of covered the basics here today. So thanks again for listening, everyone. And Josh, I will see you next Wednesday.
Sounds good, guys. See you then.